The Bookshop at the End of the World. In a small coastal town, far from any big city, there stood an old bookshop. The building was made of weathered wood that had turned gray from years of salt air and wind. The windows were large but dusty. The paint on the door was peeling. A faded sign above the entrance read, "Morrison's Books, New and Used." The bookshop sat at the very edge of the town, where the last street met the beginning of wild cliffs and open ocean. Beyond it, there was nothing but rocks and waves and endless sky. That's why locals called it the Bookshop at the End of the World. Inside the shop lived a woman named Catherine. She was 62 years old and had owned the bookshop for 30 years. She had inherited it from her uncle, who had run it for 40 years before her. The shop had been in her family for 3 generations. Catherine lived alone in a small apartment above the shop. She had never married, had no children. Her life was simple and quiet. She woke early, made tea, opened the shop, spent her days among the books, closed at sunset, made dinner, read until late, then slept. This routine rarely changed. The bookshop was full of books, thousands of them, maybe tens of thousands. They filled shelves from floor to ceiling. They were stacked in piles on tables. They sat in boxes waiting to be sorted. Some were new, ordered from publishers. Most were used, bought from estate sales or donated by people clearing out their homes. Catherine knew every book in her shop. She could remember where each one was, what it was about, who might enjoy it. She had read most of them over the years. Books were her companions, her teachers, her friends. The shop didn't make much money. In fact, it barely survived. People in the small town didn't read much anymore. They bought their books online or didn't buy them at all. Tourists sometimes wandered in during summer, but that was rare. The shop was too far from the town center, too easy to miss. Catherine didn't mind the lack of customers. She preferred the quiet. She could spend hours just being with the books, organizing them, discovering forgotten treasures on the shelves, rereading old favorites. The shop was her sanctuary, her world. On a gray October afternoon, when rain was falling softly and the wind was gentle, the bell above the door chimed. Catherine looked up from the book she was reading. A visitor. A young man stood in the doorway, soaking wet, looking lost. He was perhaps 25 years old, tall and thin, with dark hair plastered to his forehead from the rain. He wore jeans and a jacket that wasn't warm enough for the weather. He carried a small backpack. "Come in," Catherine said kindly. "Close the door. You're letting the cold in." The young man stepped inside and closed the door. He stood there dripping on the wooden floor, looking around at the shelves and shelves of books with wide eyes. "I'm sorry, I'm making a mess. I was walking and got caught in the rain. I saw your shop and thought I could wait until it stops."
"That's fine," Catherine said. "But it might rain all day. This is coastal weather. Once it starts, it often continues. Here, let me get you a towel." She went to the back room and returned with a clean towel. The young man dried his face and hair, though his clothes were still wet. "Would you like some tea?" Catherine asked. "I was just about to make a pot." "That would be wonderful," the young man said. "Thank you. You're very kind." Catherine went to the small kitchen area at the back of the shop and put a kettle on the old stove. She prepared 2 cups, adding tea leaves to a pot. While she waited for the water to boil, she studied the young man from a distance. He had moved deeper into the shop and was looking at the books with genuine interest, not just glancing at titles, but actually pulling books from shelves, reading the first few pages, examining covers carefully. This was unusual. Most people who came into the shop these days just looked around quickly and left. The kettle whistled. Catherine made the tea and brought 2 cups to where the young man was standing in the poetry section. "Here," she said, handing him a cup. "This will warm you." "Thank you," he said, accepting the cup gratefully. He held it in both hands, letting the warmth seep into his cold fingers. "My name is Alex, by the way." "I'm Catherine. I own this shop." "It's an incredible place," Alex said, looking around. "I've never seen so many books in one shop. It's like a library, but cozier, more personal." Catherine smiled. She had heard this before, though not often. "I've been collecting books for 30 years. My uncle collected for 40 years before that. They accumulate." "Do you read them all?" Alex asked. "Most of them," Catherine said. "That's the joy of running a bookshop. You're surrounded by stories and knowledge. I'm never bored, never lonely. The books keep me company." They sipped their tea in comfortable silence. The rain continued to fall outside, creating a soft pattering sound on the roof. The shop felt warm and safe, separate from the cold, wet world outside. "What brings you to our town? We don't get many visitors this time of year." Alex hesitated, as if deciding how much to share. "I'm traveling, taking time off from my life, I guess, trying to figure some things out." Catherine understood this kind of journey. "And what are you trying to figure out?" "Everything," Alex said with a small laugh. "Who I am, what I want, what matters. I was working in the city, in finance. Good job, good money, but I felt empty, like I was wasting my life doing something that didn't mean anything." "So you left?" Catherine asked.
"So I left," Alex confirmed. 3 weeks ago. I've been walking along the coast, staying in small towns, trying to clear my head. I don't know what I'm looking for. I just know I needed to leave." Catherine understood this too. Many people came to the coast looking for clarity. There was something about the ocean, the space, the simplicity that helped people think more clearly. "Well," she said, "you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. The rain might last hours. You can read, explore the shop, warm up. There's no pressure to buy anything." Alex looked grateful. "Are you sure? I don't want to disturb your work." "You're not disturbing anything," Catherine assured him. "I'm just here, as I always am. Another person in the shop is actually nice. It gets quiet sometimes." Alex wandered through the shop, pulling books from shelves, reading passages, putting them back. Catherine returned to her own book, but found herself watching him instead of reading. There was something about this young man that interested her. He wasn't just killing time, he was genuinely engaging with the books, reading carefully, thinking about what he read. After an hour, Alex came back to the front desk where Catherine sat. "I have a strange question," he said. "Do you need any help? I mean, is there work I could do? I'm good with organizing, cleaning, that sort of thing. I could help in exchange for, I don't know, maybe a place to stay for a few days. I saw a sign outside that said rooms to let." Catherine was surprised.
She did have 2 small rooms above the shop that she sometimes rented to summer tourists, though she hadn't had a renter in months. And she could use help. There was always organizing to do, cleaning, repairs, that she put off because of her age. "Why would you want to stay here?" she asked. "There's nothing in this town. No nightlife, no entertainment, just a few shops and a lot of elderly people." "That's exactly why," Alex said. "I need quiet. I need simplicity. I need time to think. And I like being around books. Something about this place feels right, like I'm supposed to be here." Catherine looked at him carefully. She was generally cautious with strangers, but something about Alex felt trustworthy. And she was lonely, though she rarely admitted it, even to herself. Having another person around might be nice. "All right," she said. "You can stay in the room upstairs. It's simple but clean. In exchange, you can help me organize the shop, do some cleaning, maybe some repairs. I'll provide meals as well. Does that sound fair?" "More than fair," Alex said, smiling for the first time since he'd entered the shop. "Thank you, really. I appreciate this." "Come on then," Catherine said. "I'll show you the room. You can get out of those wet clothes and into something dry. I think I have some old clothes that might fit you." She led him upstairs to the small guest room. It had a bed, a dresser, a chair, a window overlooking the ocean. Simple but comfortable. Alex looked around and smiled. "This is perfect, absolutely perfect." And so Alex came to stay at the bookshop at the end of the world. Neither he nor Catherine knew it yet, but this was the beginning of something important. The shop had been waiting for Alex, just as Alex had been searching for the shop, though he hadn't known what he was searching for. The rain continued to fall softly. The ocean waves crashed against the cliffs, and inside the bookshop, surrounded by thousands of stories, a new story was just beginning.
The next morning, Alex woke to the sound of seagulls crying and waves crashing. Sunlight streamed through his window. The storm had passed, leaving behind a clear, crisp day. He dressed and went downstairs to the shop. Catherine was already there, dusting shelves, humming softly to herself. She looked up when she heard his footsteps. "Good morning," she said. "Did you sleep well?" "Better than I have in months," Alex said truthfully. The bed had been comfortable, the room quiet, the sound of the ocean soothing. "Thank you again for letting me stay." "You're welcome," Catherine said. "I made breakfast. There's oatmeal on the stove, bread and jam on the table. Help yourself. Then, if you're ready, I'll show you what needs doing." After breakfast, Catherine gave Alex a tour of the shop, showing him the different sections: fiction, nonfiction, poetry, children's books, reference. She explained her organizational system, which was partly by subject and partly by intuition. Some areas were orderly, others chaotic. "I'm afraid I've let things get a bit out of hand," she admitted. "When I was younger, I kept everything perfectly organized, but as I've gotten older, I've been less rigorous. Books pile up. I mean to sort them, but never quite get around to it." "I understand. It's overwhelming when there are so many." Catherine showed him the back room, which was full of boxes of unsorted books, donations, estate sale purchases, orders that had arrived but never been unpacked. "This is where you could really help," she said. "If you could sort through these boxes, decide what's worth putting on the shelves, organize them properly, that would be wonderful." Alex rolled up his sleeves. "I'm happy to do it. Where should I start?" "Anywhere you like," Catherine said.
Just take your time. There's no rush. We have all the time in the world." Alex started working through the boxes. It was peaceful work, opening each box, examining each book, deciding where it should go, carrying it to the appropriate shelf. Some books were treasures, first editions, rare printings, beautiful old volumes. Others were ordinary paperbacks, well worn and common. All of them had stories, had been held and read and loved by someone. As Alex worked, he found himself reading passages from books that caught his interest. A poem here, a chapter there, an interesting passage from a philosophy book. He had always liked reading, but hadn't had time for it in his busy city life. Now, surrounded by books, he rediscovered the joy of it. Catherine watched him work and was pleased. Alex was careful with the books, treating them with respect. He was thorough, not rushing, taking time to do things properly. He asked good questions about where things should go, listened to her answers, remembered them. They worked together throughout the day, stopping for lunch and tea breaks. Catherine made simple but delicious meals, soup and bread, cheese and fruit, fresh vegetables from her small garden behind the shop. They ate together at a small table in the kitchen area, talking about books they had read, about the town, about nothing in particular. In the afternoon, a few customers came in. An elderly woman looking for a specific cookbook, a middle-aged man browsing for something to read, a couple of teenagers killing time after school. Catherine handled each customer with patience and knowledge, helping them find what they needed or suggesting alternatives. Alex watched how she interacted with customers. She didn't push sales or recommend expensive books. She genuinely tried to match each person with the right book for them. She would ask questions. What did they like to read? What mood were they in? What had they enjoyed recently? Then she would lead them to exactly the right book, sometimes to their surprise. "How do you do that?" Alex asked after the last customer left. "How do you always know what book someone needs?" Catherine smiled. "I've been doing this for 30 years. You learn to read people, to sense what they're looking for, even when they don't know themselves. And I've read so many books that I can match stories to people. It's like matchmaking in a way." As evening approached, Catherine showed Alex how to close up the shop, locking the doors, turning off lights, making sure everything was secure. Then they had dinner together, a simple stew with fresh bread. "How long have you lived here?" Alex asked as they ate. "All my life," Catherine said. "I grew up in this town, left for a few years to go to university in the city, but I came back. This is home. I can't imagine living anywhere else." "Don't you get lonely?" Alex asked. "Living alone, running a shop that doesn't get many customers?" Catherine thought about this. "Sometimes," she admitted, "but I have the books, I have the ocean, I have my routines. Loneliness isn't as bad as people think. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. I'm alone by choice. I'm comfortable with my own company." "I think I'm learning that," Alex said. "In the city, I was surrounded by people, but felt lonely all the time. Here, I'm alone, but I don't feel lonely. It's strange." "It's not strange at all," Catherine said. "Loneliness isn't about how many people are around you. It's about connection. You can be alone and deeply connected to yourself, to nature, to what you're doing. Or you can be surrounded by people and feel completely disconnected." They talked late into the evening. Then Alex helped Catherine clean up. He went to his room feeling tired but content. It had been a good day. simple, peaceful, purposeful. He fell asleep quickly, lulled by the sound of waves.
Days passed into weeks. Alex fell into a rhythm. Each morning he would wake early, have breakfast with Catherine, then work in the shop, sorting books, organizing shelves, cleaning, doing small repairs. In the afternoons, he would often take long walks along the cliffs, watching the ocean, thinking, letting his mind wander. He discovered paths along the coast that led to hidden beaches, to tide pools full of sea creatures, to viewpoints with stunning vistas. The landscape was wild and beautiful. Sometimes he would sit for hours just watching waves crash against rocks, mesmerized by the constant motion, the power, the rhythm. Catherine gave Alex more responsibility as time went on. She taught him how to use the old cash register, how to help customers, how to order new books from publishers. Alex proved to be a natural at the work. He had a good memory for titles and authors, developed an instinct for recommending books, enjoyed talking to customers about what they were reading. The shop began to change subtly under Alex's influence. He organized sections more clearly, created nice displays of featured books, cleaned windows that hadn't been properly cleaned in years. The shop became brighter, more welcoming. A few regular customers commented on how nice it looked. Catherine was grateful for Alex's help, but also for his company. She hadn't realized how much she had missed having someone to talk to. They had long conversations about books, about life, about philosophy and meaning and purpose. Alex was thoughtful and curious, asked good questions, listened carefully to answers. One evening after dinner, as they sat in the shop's reading area with tea, Alex asked Catherine about her life. "Have you ever regretted not getting married, not having children?" he asked, then quickly added, "I'm sorry if that's too personal." "It's not too personal," Catherine said, "and no, I don't regret it. I chose this life consciously. I had relationships when I was younger, but none felt right. I realized I was happy alone. Not everyone needs the same things. Society tells us we should want marriage and family, but that's not true for everyone." "What about the shop?" Alex asked. "Do you ever wish you'd done something different with your life?" Catherine looked around at the books surrounding them. "Never," she said. "This shop has been my life's work. Every book I've placed on these shelves, every customer I've helped, every quiet hour I've spent reading, it all matters. It's been a good life, a meaningful life." "I envy that," Alex said. "I never found work that felt meaningful. It was just work, something I did for money, not because I cared about it." "What did you study in school?" Catherine asked. "Business and finance," Alex said, "because that's what was practical, what would lead to a good job, but I never loved it. I liked literature and philosophy, but those seemed impractical." "Impractical according to whom?" Catherine asked. "Someone who loves literature might find great meaning in teaching it, writing about it, working in publishing or bookshops. Practicality isn't just about making money. It's about finding work that sustains you, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually." Alex thought about this. "I wish I'd known that when I was younger. I wish I'd followed my real interests instead of what seemed safe." "You're still young," Catherine pointed out. "You have time to change direction. That's what you're doing now, isn't it? Taking time to figure out what you really want?" "I guess so," Alex said. "But I don't know what that is yet. I just know I don't want to go back to my old life." "Then don't," Catherine said simply. "Find a new life. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be simple, quiet, focused on things that actually matter to you." As October turned to November, the weather grew colder. Storms came more frequently, bringing heavy rain and strong winds. But inside the bookshop, everything was warm and cozy. Catherine and Alex would light the fire in the old fireplace, make pots of tea, read while the storm raged outside. Alex discovered he loved stormy days. There was something comforting about being warm and safe inside while nature demonstrated its power outside. The sound of rain on the roof, wind howling around the building, waves crashing against cliffs. It was like nature's symphony. He also discovered he loved the work of the bookshop. Helping people find the right book brought him genuine satisfaction. Making the shop more organized and welcoming felt purposeful. Even simple tasks like dusting shelves or pricing books had a meditative quality. One afternoon, a young woman came into the shop looking distressed. She was perhaps 19 or 20, with red eyes, suggesting she had been crying. "Can I help you?" Alex asked gently. "I don't know," the woman said. I needed to go somewhere quiet, to think. My boyfriend just broke up with me, and I'm devastated, and I don't know what to do." Alex felt compassion for her pain. He remembered feeling lost and heartbroken himself, though for different reasons. "I'm sorry. Breakups are hard, but maybe I can help you find a book. Sometimes reading helps when you're going through difficult emotions." "I don't know if I can focus on reading," the woman said. "That's okay, but let me show you a few books anyway. No pressure to buy. Just see if anything speaks to you." He led her to the poetry section and pulled out a slim volume of Mary Oliver poems. This poet writes about nature and healing and finding peace. Her words are simple but profound. He showed her a few other books, novels about people surviving heartbreak, memoirs about transformation, philosophy about impermanence and letting go. He didn't lecture or advise. He just offered options, let the woman browse, gave her space. After half an hour, the woman bought the poetry book and one of the novels. "Thank you," she said to Alex. Her eyes were still sad but calmer. "You didn't try to tell me everything would be okay or give me advice. You just helped. That's what I needed." After she left, Catherine smiled at Alex. "You're good at this," she said. "You have empathy. You understand what people need. That's the real skill of bookselling, not just knowing books, but knowing people." Alex felt a warm glow of satisfaction. Maybe this was what meaningful work felt like. Not impressive or high-paying, but genuinely helpful, genuinely human.
As November deepened, Alex and Catherine fell into an evening routine. After closing the shop and having dinner, they would sit in the reading area and read aloud to each other. Taking turns, they would share books they loved, reading chapters or poems or essays. Catherine shared classics she had loved for years. Alex shared more contemporary works he had discovered in the shop. They discussed what they read, debated interpretations, shared how certain passages made them feel. One evening, Catherine pulled an old leather-bound book from a special shelf behind the counter. "This was my uncle's journal," she said. "He kept it during his years running the shop. I've read it many times, but I'd like to share some of it with you." She opened to a page and began to read. May 15th, 1968. Today, a young man came into the shop looking for a book about sailing. I gave him The Sea Around Us by Rachel Carson instead. He was confused at first. This wasn't what he asked for, but I knew it was what he needed. 3 weeks later, he returned to thank me.
The book had changed his perspective on the ocean, on nature, on everything. He had decided to become a marine biologist instead of a banker. Sometimes we give people what they need, not what they ask for. Alex smiled. That's what you do too. You have an instinct for matching people with the right books. My uncle taught me, Catherine said. He believed books were medicine for the soul. Different books heal different ailments. A person feeling lost needs a different book than a person feeling heartbroken. A curious mind needs different sustenance than a troubled one. She read more entries, stories of customers, of books that had arrived unexpectedly, of quiet days alone in the shop. Her uncle wrote beautifully, with humor and wisdom and deep observation. He sounds like he was a wonderful person, Alex said. He was, Catherine said softly. He never married, had no children. This shop was his life, just as it's been mine. He died at 75, here in the shop, sitting in his favorite chair with a book on his lap. It was a good death, a peaceful one. Is that how you imagine your own death? Here, surrounded by books? Yes, Catherine said, without hesitation. I can't imagine dying anywhere else. This place is my home, my sanctuary. When my time comes, I hope it's like my uncle's, peaceful, here among the books I love. They sat in comfortable silence for a while. Then Alex asked, "What will happen to the shop when you're gone? Do you have family to inherit it?" "No," Catherine said. "I'm the last of my line. I've thought about what will happen to the shop. I suppose I'll have to sell it eventually, but I haven't found anyone who would run it properly, who would love it as I do. Most people would see it as just a business, or worse, tear it down to build something more profitable." This thought made Alex sad. The idea of this beautiful bookshop disappearing felt wrong, but he didn't know what to say, so he stayed quiet. Catherine sensed his thoughts. "Don't worry about it now," she said. "I plan to be here for many more years, and who knows, perhaps the right person will appear when the time is right." She returned to reading from her uncle's journal. The entries spanned decades, chronicling the life of the shop, the changing town, and the countless books and people that had passed through. It was like a secret history, known only to Catherine now and to Alex as she shared it.
One entry particularly struck Alex. December 3rd, 1975. Heavy storm today. No customers. Spent the day reorganizing the poetry section and thinking about the purpose of this shop. It's not really about selling books, though we must do that to survive. It's about creating sanctuary. The world is harsh and fast and demanding. People need places of refuge, of quiet, of contemplation. This shop is such a place. Anyone who enters can slow down, can think, can escape for a moment into other worlds through books. That's the real service we provide, sanctuary for weary souls. "That's beautiful," Alex said when Catherine finished reading. "And true, this shop is sanctuary. It saved me in a way. When I walked in that rainy day, I was lost. Working here, being here, has helped me find something. I'm not sure what exactly, but something important." "The shop has a way of doing that," Catherine said. "My uncle felt it. I feel it. The shop itself seems alive somehow, seems to know what people need. Maybe that's silly, but I've seen it too many times to dismiss it. People find the books they need. The right people find their way here at the right time." You mean like me? Alex asked. Maybe, Catherine said with a small smile. Why do you think you walked into this shop on that particular day? Just chance? Or were you called here in some way you don't fully understand? Alex didn't know how to answer. Part of him wanted to dismiss this as superstition, but another part of him, a deeper part, felt the truth in it. He had been called here. By what, he didn't know, but there was purpose in his presence at the bookshop, even if he didn't yet understand what that purpose was.
December arrived, bringing shorter days and longer nights. The bookshop felt even cozier as winter deepened. Catherine and Alex decorated it simply for the season. Evergreen branches, candles, a small tree in the corner with handmade ornaments. Very few customers came now. Sometimes days would pass without a single visitor. But Alex and Catherine didn't mind. They used the quiet time to continue organizing, to read, to simply be together in comfortable companionship. Alex had been at the shop for 2 months now. He had changed during this time. He looked healthier, more color in his face from walking in the fresh air, more life in his eyes. He moved more slowly, more deliberately, no longer rushed. He smiled more easily. The stress and anxiety that had driven him from the city had faded. He was also reading voraciously. Catherine had given him free access to all the books in the shop. Each evening, Alex would choose something new: novels, poetry, philosophy, history, science. He read widely, curiously, finding that everything interested him when he had time to engage deeply. One book in particular affected him strongly. It was a collection of essays by various authors about simple living, about finding meaning in ordinary things, about the value of solitude and contemplation. Alex read passages aloud to Catherine, marveling at how perfectly the words described what he was experiencing. "This is it," he said one evening, holding up the book. "This is what I was searching for without knowing it. Not a different career or a new city or more money, just this, a simpler way of living, time to think, meaningful work, connection to place and purpose." Catherine smiled. "You found it then, the thing you were looking for."
"But what do I do with it?" Alex asked. "I can't stay here forever, can I? Living in your guest room, working for room and board. Eventually I'll need to figure out my real life." "Why can't this be your real life?" Catherine asked. "If it makes you happy, if it feels meaningful, why does it need to be temporary?" "Because," Alex started, then stopped. He didn't have a good answer. Because society said he should have a career, make money, be ambitious? But did he care what society said? Not really. Not anymore. "I don't know," he admitted. "I guess I assumed this was just a pause, a break before I figured out what I really wanted to do. But maybe this is what I want to do. Work in a bookshop, live simply, read and think and help people find books. Is that enough?" "Only you can answer that," Catherine said. "But I'll tell you something my uncle told me when I was your age. He said, society will always tell you that you need more money, more success, more possessions, more status. But the secret is that enough is enough. If you're content, if your life has meaning, if you're not hurting anyone, that's enough. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise." Alex thought about this. He was content. For the first time in his adult life, he felt genuinely content. No anxiety about the future, no regret about the past, just presence in this moment, in this place, doing this work. It was enough, more than enough. The winter solstice arrived, the longest night of the year. Catherine had a tradition for this day. She would close the shop early, light candles throughout the space, and spend the long evening reading by candlelight, honoring the darkness before the days began to lengthen again. She invited Alex to join her in this tradition. As the sun set early, they lit dozens of candles around the shop. The warm, flickering light created dancing shadows on the walls of books. It felt magical, almost sacred. They sat together in the reading area, each with a book, reading in comfortable silence. Outside, darkness fell completely. The only lights were the candles and the occasional flash of the lighthouse down the coast. The ocean roared in the darkness, waves crashing against cliffs. After an hour of reading, Catherine spoke. "Alex, I need to tell you something." Alex looked up from his book. Catherine's face was serious in the candlelight. "I am 72 years old," she said. "I'm healthy now, but I won't live forever. I've been thinking about the future of this shop, about what will happen to it when I'm gone." Alex felt his heart sink. He had grown to love this place so much. The thought of it disappearing was painful. "I don't have anyone to leave it to. No children, no close family. I've been trying to decide what to do. Should I sell it? To whom? Someone who would just turn it into something else, probably? Tear it down and build condos? That thought breaks my heart." She paused, looking directly at Alex. "But then, you arrived, and I've watched you these past months, how you care for the books, how you help customers, how you've fallen in love with this place and this life, and I've had a thought." Alex waited, barely breathing.
"What if you took over the shop?" Catherine said. "What if I left it to you when I die? Or even before that? What if we became partners now? You could learn the business side, the finances, the relationships with publishers. Over time, you could gradually take over, and I could step back. The shop would continue. It would be in hands that love it." Alex was stunned. I don't know what to say. That's incredibly generous, but I don't have money to buy the shop. I spent most of my savings during my traveling." "I'm not asking you to buy it," Catherine said. "I'm offering to give it to you. Or we could work out some arrangement. You work here, gradually take on more ownership. The details don't matter as much as the intention. I want this shop to survive. I want it to continue being what it is: sanctuary, refuge, a place for books and readers. And I believe you could maintain that." "But why me?" Alex asked. "You barely know me." "I know enough," Catherine said. "I know you love this place. I know you understand what it's for. I know you'd protect it, nurture it. That's what matters. My uncle chose me for the same reasons. I was young, uncertain, but I loved the shop. I proved worthy of his trust. I believe you would too." Alex felt tears in his eyes. This was more than he had ever hoped for. Not just a job, but a purpose, a home, a life's work. Everything he had been searching for, offered to him freely. "I need time to think," he said. "It's such a big decision." "Of course," Catherine said.
Take all the time you need, but think about it seriously. Think about whether this life would make you happy, not just now, but in the long term. Running a bookshop isn't glamorous. It's not profitable. It's quiet, repetitive, sometimes lonely. But if it's the right life for you, it's deeply satisfying. They returned to their reading, but Alex couldn't concentrate. His mind spun with possibilities, with questions, with the weight of this decision. Later that night, alone in his room, Alex looked out at the dark ocean. He thought about his old life in the city, the stress, the meaningless work, the constant anxiety. He thought about these past months in the bookshop, the peace, the purpose, the sense of belonging. He knew his answer. He had known it the moment Catherine made the offer. But he let himself sit with the decision for a few more days, making sure he was certain. On Christmas Eve, Alex found Catherine in the kitchen making bread. "I've thought about your offer, and my answer is yes. I would be honored to take over the shop, to continue its work. If you're still willing, if you really think I'm the right person, then yes." Catherine turned from the bread dough and smiled, her eyes bright with tears. "I'm so glad," she said. "I had a feeling you'd say yes. I've felt it for weeks. You belong here. The shop knew it before I did." She hugged him, something she had never done before. Alex hugged her back, feeling a rush of gratitude and affection for this woman who had taken him in, taught him, and now was giving him a gift beyond measure. "We'll work out the details," Catherine said, "but essentially, you'll become my apprentice. I'll teach you everything. The business side, the relationships, the history, the philosophy of the shop. Over the next few years, you'll gradually take over, and when I'm gone, or when I'm ready to retire fully, the shop will be yours." "I won't let you down," Alex promised. "I'll take care of it. I'll maintain what you and your uncle built." "I know you will," Catherine said. "I have complete faith in you." And so Alex's future was decided. He would stay at the bookshop at the end of the world. He would become its keeper, its guardian. He had found his place, his purpose, his home.
The new year arrived quietly. Catherine and Alex celebrated with a simple dinner and a toast with wine. They talked about the year ahead, about Alex's training, about small improvements they could make to the shop. January brought fierce winter storms. The shop was warm and dry inside, but outside the wind howled and rain battered the building. During these storms, no customers came. Alex and Catherine would spend entire days together, working on the shop, reading, talking. Catherine began teaching Alex the business side of running the shop. She showed him the account books, explained the finances, taught him how to order from publishers and distributors. The shop barely broke even most months, but it survived. Catherine owned the building outright. Her uncle had paid off the mortgage decades ago, so there was no rent to pay. "The key is keeping expenses low," Catherine explained. "We don't need to make a lot of money, we just need to cover costs, utilities, inventory, taxes, basic living expenses. Living simply makes this possible." She showed Alex how she lived on very little, growing vegetables in her garden, buying in bulk, making most things from scratch, rarely buying anything new. Her needs were minimal. "I learned this from my uncle," she said. "He lived on almost nothing. All his money went back into buying books for the shop. He didn't care about possessions or luxury. He cared about books and helping people find them. That was wealth enough for him. Alex understood this philosophy. He had lived simply himself these past months and found he didn't miss his old life of consuming and acquiring. He had everything he needed: shelter, food, meaningful work, good company, access to thousands of books. What more could anyone want? Catherine also taught Alex about the town, its history, its people, its rhythms. The town had been a fishing village originally, then a tourist destination briefly in the 1950s, then had slowly declined as young people moved away and industries failed. Now it was mostly elderly people and a few families hanging on. "The town is dying," Catherine said matter-of-factly, "slowly but surely. Young people leave for opportunities elsewhere, businesses close, houses stand empty. In 20 years, there might not be much of a town left." "Does that make you sad?" Alex asked. "A little," Catherine admitted, "but it's the natural cycle of things. Towns are born, they thrive, they fade. Nothing lasts forever. I'm just grateful to have lived here during its lifetime, to have been part of its story." This acceptance of impermanence was something Alex was learning from Catherine. She didn't fight against natural processes or mourn inevitable losses. She accepted change, honored what existed while it existed, and let go when the time came.
As winter progressed, Alex continued his education. He learned about different types of books: first editions, rare books, collectibles. He learned about book restoration and preservation. Catherine had a small collection of very old books that required special care, and she showed Alex how to handle them properly. She also taught him the art of recommendation, how to ask the right questions to understand what a customer needed, how to sense mood and match it to books, how to suggest without pushing. This was less a science than an intuition, and it could only be learned through practice. Alex practiced on the few customers who came in. He was getting better at it, developing his own instinct for matching people to books. Some of his recommendations were exactly right. Others missed the mark, but he was learning, improving. One cold February afternoon, a middle-aged woman came into the shop. She looked around uncertainly, clearly not a regular customer. "Can I help you?" Alex asked. "I'm looking for a book," the woman said, "but I don't know what book. I just know I need something to read. My mother died last week. I can't sleep, I can't focus. I thought maybe reading would help." Alex felt deep compassion. "I'm so sorry for your loss," he said gently. "Grief is so hard. Let me find you something that might help." He thought carefully, then led her to the poetry section. He pulled out a slim volume by a poet who wrote about loss and healing. "This might speak to you," he said. "The poems are short, easy to read even when you can't focus, but they're deep. They understand grief." He also showed her a memoir about a woman who lost her mother and found peace through gardening. This is gentle and hopeful without being falsely cheerful. It acknowledges that grief doesn't go away, but shows that it can coexist with joy. The woman read passages from both books, tears in her eyes. "These are perfect," she said. "How did you know?" "I just tried to imagine what might help, what might offer comfort without trying to fix what can't be fixed." The woman bought both books and left looking slightly less burdened. Catherine, who had observed the interaction from across the shop, smiled at Alex. "That was well done," she said. "You're learning the real skill, empathy,
understanding what people need, even when they can't articulate it themselves. Alex felt proud, but also humbled. This work mattered. It wasn't just selling products, it was genuinely helping people through books, through stories, through the wisdom contained in pages.
March brought the first signs of spring. Days grew longer, the worst storms passed. Early flowers began to bloom in Catherine's garden. Birds returned from their winter migrations, filling the air with song. The bookshop began to feel lighter. They opened windows on warm days, letting in fresh ocean air. Catherine and Alex did spring cleaning, washing windows, dusting every shelf, organizing and reorganizing. A few more customers started coming in as the weather improved. Some were locals who had stayed away during the worst winter months. Some were early tourists, people taking advantage of off-season prices. Alex was now handling much of the daily operation of the shop. He opened in the mornings, helped customers, managed inventory, closed in the evenings. Catherine was stepping back, giving him more responsibility, trusting him more. She was also teaching him about the garden. Together they prepared the soil, planted seeds, talked about what to grow. Catherine believed in growing food, in being as self-sufficient as possible. She grew vegetables, herbs, some fruit. She preserved and stored for winter. "My uncle taught me this too," she said as they worked in the garden. "He grew up during the Depression and learned to be resourceful. He never forgot those lessons. He taught me that true security doesn't come from money in the bank. It comes from skills, from knowledge, from being able to provide for your basic needs." Alex found he loved gardening. Like working with books, it was peaceful, meditative work. Hands in the soil, sun on his back, the satisfaction of planting seeds that would become food. It connected him to the earth, to the seasons, to natural cycles. One April morning, as Alex was opening the shop, a young woman entered. She was perhaps 30, professionally dressed, carrying a briefcase. She looked around the shop with interest. "Can I help you find something?" Alex asked. "Actually, I'm not here to buy books," the woman said. "My name is Jennifer Chang. I'm a reporter for the Regional Arts magazine. I'm doing a series on independent bookshops that are surviving despite the rise of online retail. I'd love to interview the owner." Alex was surprised. "I'll get Catherine," he said. "She owns the shop. I work here." He found Catherine in the back room and explained about the reporter. Catherine seemed surprised but agreed to be interviewed. Jennifer asked thoughtful questions about the shop's history, about how it had survived, about Catherine's philosophy of bookselling. Catherine answered honestly, explaining about her uncle, about keeping expenses low, about viewing the shop as more than just a business. "It's a sanctuary," Catherine said, "for me, for customers, for books themselves. We don't make much money, but we provide something valuable, a quiet place in a noisy world, physical books in a digital age, human connection in a time of isolation." Jennifer was fascinated. She asked if she could take photos, if she could come back and spend more time observing the shop. Catherine agreed. Over the next week, Jennifer visited several times. She photographed the shop, the shelves full of books, the cozy reading area, the ocean view from the windows. She talked to customers about why they came to the shop instead of buying books online. She interviewed both Catherine and Alex. When she interviewed Alex, she asked about his journey, leaving the city, finding the shop, deciding to stay. "I was lost," Alex said simply. "I had a successful career, but felt empty. I came here looking for something,
though I didn't know what, and I found it. Purpose, peace, a way of life that actually means something.
Do you ever regret leaving your old career? Jennifer asked. Never, Alex said. I make much less money now. I live more simply, but I'm happier than I've ever been. I've learned that success isn't about money or status. It's about doing work that matters, living in a way that aligns with your values, being connected to something meaningful. The article was published in May. It was beautifully written and photographed, capturing the magic of the shop. Jennifer had titled it "The Bookshop at the End of the World, a sanctuary for books and souls." The article had an unexpected effect. People began coming to the shop specifically because of it. Some were local people who hadn't known the shop existed. Some were tourists who made a point to visit. Some were other book lovers who had read the article and wanted to experience what it described. Suddenly, the shop was busier than it had been in years. Catherine was overwhelmed at first, but Alex thrived. He loved helping the increased number of customers, loved sharing his growing knowledge of books, loved seeing the shop come alive with people. The increased business meant more income. For the first time in years, the shop was actually profitable. Catherine was able to order more inventory, to make some repairs that had been put off, to even give Alex a small salary instead of just room and board. "Things are changing," Catherine observed one evening after a busy day. "The article has brought new life to the shop. I didn't expect this." "Is it good or bad?" Alex asked. "Good, I think," Catherine said, "as long as we don't lose what makes this place special. The shop has always been about more than sales. It's about sanctuary, about connection. We need to maintain that even as we get busier." They talked about how to balance growth with maintaining the shop's character. They decided to limit hours slightly, to preserve quiet times for regular customers who valued the peaceful atmosphere. They agreed to never sacrifice quality for quantity, to continue carrying interesting, unusual books rather than just bestsellers. The shop found a new equilibrium. Busier than before, but not overwhelmingly so. More profitable, but still focused on service over profit. Alive and thriving, while maintaining its essential character. Summer arrived, bringing warm weather and even more customers. The shop was busy most days now. Alex worked long hours but didn't mind. He loved the work, loved interacting with the steady stream of book lovers who came through the door. Catherine, meanwhile, was slowing down. She was tired more often, needed to rest more frequently. She was still involved in the shop, but had stepped back significantly, letting Alex run things day to day. One afternoon in early July, Catherine called Alex into the small office behind the shop. She had papers spread on the desk. "I've been working with a lawyer," she said, "drawing up the legal papers to make you co-owner of the shop and building. I want this formalized. If something happens to me, I want there to be no question that the shop is yours." Alex felt a mixture of gratitude and sadness. Gratitude for Catherine's generosity, sadness at the reminder that she wouldn't be here forever. "You don't need to do this now," he said. "You're healthy. You could run the shop for many more years." Catherine smiled gently. "I'm 72 years old, Alex. I'm healthy now, but that could change. I want things settled while I can still make clear decisions. Besides, this feels right. You've proven yourself over these past months. You love the shop, understand its purpose, will protect it. I have complete confidence in you." They signed the papers that afternoon, making Alex legally a co-owner.
The transition would be gradual. For now, they would run the shop together, but increasingly Alex would make decisions. When Catherine was ready to retire fully, or when she died, Alex would become sole owner. That evening, they celebrated with a nice dinner and wine. They toasted to the shop's future, to their partnership, to the years ahead. "I'm so grateful for you," Alex said, "for taking me in when I was lost, for teaching me, for trusting me with this incredible gift." "I'm grateful for you too," Catherine said. "You've brought new energy to the shop, to my life. I was alone for so long. Having you here, having someone to share this work with, to talk to teach, it's brought me joy I didn't know I was missing." As summer progressed, they worked together in comfortable partnership. Catherine taught Alex the last things she felt he needed to know: relationships with publishers, contacts in the rare book world, local history and connections. Alex absorbed it all, asked good questions, proved himself a worthy successor. August marked 1 year since Alex had walked into the shop on that rainy day. Catherine suggested they mark the anniversary with a special event, a reading at the shop, open to the community. They invited several local authors to read from their work. They advertised in the local paper and on social media. They prepared refreshments, cookies Catherine baked, tea and coffee. The event was a success. Over 30 people came, locals, regular customers, new visitors. The shop was alive with conversation and laughter. At the end of the evening, Catherine stood to speak. "Thank you all for coming," she said. "This shop has been my life for 3 decades. It was my uncle's life for 4 decades before that. We've always believed that bookshops are more than businesses. They're community centers, cultural hubs, sanctuaries for readers." She gestured to Alex. "A year ago, a young man walked through that door, lost and looking for something. He found it here, and in the process, he's helped me find something too. Hope for the future of this shop. Alex is now co-owner, and eventually he'll take over fully. I'm so pleased to know the shop will continue, that it's in hands that love it." People applauded. Several regular customers came to shake Alex's hand, to welcome him officially, to express pleasure that the shop would continue. After everyone left and they had cleaned up, Alex and Catherine sat in the reading area with tea, tired but happy.
"A year ago, I never could have imagined this," Alex said, "that I'd find this place, this life, this purpose. I was so lost, and now I feel so found." "The shop found you," Catherine said, "just as it found me, just as it found my uncle. This place has a way of calling people who need it, people who will serve it well. I'm just glad I was here when you arrived, that I could recognize what you were meant to become." They sat in comfortable silence, looking around at the books surrounding them. Outside, the sun was setting over the ocean, painting the sky in brilliant colors. The shop was quiet, peaceful, perfect. Alex thought about the journey that had brought him here, the dissatisfaction with his old life, the decision to leave, the months of wandering, the rainy day when he'd stumbled through the door. Every step had led him to this moment, to this place, to this purpose. He had found his home. He had found his work. He had found himself. The bookshop at the end of the world had saved him, and now he would dedicate himself to saving it, to keeping it alive, to ensuring it could continue its work of offering sanctuary to future lost souls who would need it.
The years began to pass. Alex settled fully into his role as keeper of the bookshop. What had once seemed overwhelming became natural. He knew the shop intimately now, every shelf, every corner, every particular book in the vast collection. Catherine gradually stepped back further. By the time she was 75, she was barely involved in the day-to-day running of the shop. She would come down from her apartment for tea, would chat with customers she knew, would offer occasional advice, but the shop was Alex's now, in all but name. She spent more time in her garden, in her own reading, in simply being. She seemed content, peaceful. She had passed her life's work to someone trustworthy. She could rest now. Alex thrived. He loved every aspect of running the shop. He loved the early morning quiet when he opened up. He loved helping customers find the perfect book. He loved the afternoon lulls when he could read. He loved closing up in the evening, securing the shop for the night. He had become a fixture in the small town. People knew him, greeted him on the street, considered him one of their own, despite his outsider origins. He served on the town library committee. He organized occasional literary events. He was part of the community. The shop continued to do well. It wasn't making anyone rich, but it was sustainable, profitable enough to support itself and Alex's simple life. The article's effect had faded somewhat, but they maintained a steady stream of customers, locals, tourists, book lovers who had heard about the shop through word of mouth. Alex hired occasional part-time help during busy summer months. He took on apprentices himself, young people interested in bookselling who wanted to learn. He passed on what Catherine had taught him, continuing the lineage of knowledge. One such apprentice was a young woman named Sophie. She was 22, had just graduated with a degree in literature, wasn't sure what to do with her life. She came to the shop looking for work, and something in her reminded Alex of himself 4 years ago, lost, seeking, open to possibilities. He hired her to help during the summer tourist season.
She proved to be excellent. Careful with the books, good with customers, genuinely interested in the work. When summer ended, Alex asked if she wanted to stay on permanently, at least for a while. Sophie accepted gratefully. Like Alex, she found herself falling in love with the bookshop life, the simplicity, the meaning, the daily contact with books and readers. She rented a small cottage in town and became part of the community. Having Sophie there reminded Alex of his early days with Catherine. He tried to be for Sophie what Catherine had been for him, teacher, mentor, guide. He showed her not just the practical aspects, but the philosophy, the deeper purpose of the work. Catherine approved. When she met Sophie, she smiled and told Alex privately, "You're doing what I did, finding the next keeper, preparing them even if they don't know it yet. The cycle continues." "Do you think she'll take over after me?" Alex asked. "Maybe," said Catherine. "Or maybe she's just here to learn what she needs to learn before moving on to her own path. Either way, you're teaching her well. That's what matters." The seasons continued their eternal cycle. Spring brought renewal and busy restocking. Summer brought tourists and long hours. Autumn brought quiet and reflection. Winter brought storms and cozy evenings by the fire.
Alex grew older, but not in a way that felt negative. His hair began to gray at the temples, lines appeared around his eyes, but he felt more himself than ever, more settled, more content. This was his life, his place, his purpose. Nothing else called to him. He maintained friendships in town, but was comfortable with solitude. He dated occasionally, but never seriously. Like Catherine, he found he was happy alone, content with his own company, fulfilled by his work and his books. His old life in the city seemed like another lifetime, like something that had happened to someone else. He rarely thought about it. When he did, he felt no regret about leaving, only gratitude for having had the courage to walk away.
Catherine turned 80. The shop threw a party, a small gathering of regular customers, town friends, Sophie and Alex. Catherine seemed touched by the attention, but also tired. She was slowing down noticeably now, spending most of her time in her apartment, venturing down to the shop less and less. Alex visited her daily, bringing her meals, making sure she was comfortable. They would sit together and talk, just as they had in his early days at the shop. Catherine would share memories, would talk about the shop's history, would sometimes just sit in comfortable silence. One autumn evening, as Alex brought her dinner, Catherine asked him to sit down. "I need to tell you something," she said. Her voice was weak but clear. "I'm dying. Not immediately, but soon. I can feel it. My body is giving out." Alex felt tears prick his eyes. He had known this day would come, but knowing didn't make it easier. "How long?" he asked. "Months, maybe," Catherine said. "Not years. I'm ready, Alex. I've lived a long, good life. I'm not afraid of death. But I wanted to tell you so you could prepare yourself, so we could say what needs to be said." Over the following weeks, Alex spent more time with Catherine. Sophie managed the shop, while Alex sat with Catherine, listening to her stories, sharing memories, simply being present with her. Catherine shared final wisdom with Alex. "Remember what this shop is for," she said. "Not just selling books, but providing sanctuary. Don't let that get lost as you get older, as you get busier. That's the real purpose." She gave him her uncle's journal, the one she had read from years ago. "This belongs to you now. Add your own entries. One day you'll pass it to your successor, and they'll add theirs. It's a record of the shop's soul, not just its history." As winter approached, Catherine grew weaker. She slept most of the time now. Alex moved a cot into her apartment so he could stay close, so she wouldn't be alone. One December night, during a heavy storm, Catherine woke from sleep and called Alex's name. He came to her bedside immediately. "It's time," she said, calmly. "I can feel it. Will you stay with me?" "Of course," Alex said, taking her hand. "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." Catherine smiled. "You've been a gift to me, Alex. These last years, having you here, teaching you, watching you grow into the keeper, it's been wonderful. I couldn't have asked for a better ending to my story." "You've been a gift to me, too," Alex said, tears flowing freely now. "You saved me. You gave me purpose, a home, a life worth living. I owe you everything." "You owe me nothing," Catherine said. "You earned everything through your own dedication and love.
The shop chose well when it called you here." They sat together through the night. Catherine drifted in and out of consciousness. When she was awake, she would speak, sharing final memories, expressing gratitude, saying goodbye. As dawn approached, the storm began to calm. Catherine opened her eyes one last time. "Take care of the shop," she whispered. "Keep it alive. Let it continue helping people." "I will," Alex promised. "I'll protect it. I'll honor what you and your uncle built." Catherine squeezed his hand weakly. "Good. I can rest now." Her breathing became slow and shallow. Then, peacefully, it stopped. She was gone. Alex sat with her body for a long time, crying, saying his own goodbye. Catherine had been more than a mentor. She had been friend, surrogate family, the person who had seen something in him when he couldn't see it himself. He thought about all she had taught him, all she had given him. The shop, yes, but more than that, a philosophy of life, a way of being in the world, simplicity, presence, service, love. These were the real gifts.
As the sun rose over the ocean, Alex finally stood. He called the appropriate people, the doctor, the funeral home. He began the process of laying Catherine to rest. The funeral was simple, as Catherine had wanted. They buried her in the town cemetery overlooking the ocean. Many people came, townspeople who had known her for decades, customers who had loved the shop, fellow booksellers from across the region. Alex spoke at the service. Catherine Morrison dedicated her life to books and the people who read them, he said. She believed that bookshops were sanctuaries, that books were medicine for the soul. She lived her values simply and completely. She left the world better than she found it. That's all any of us can hope for. After the burial, people gathered at the bookshop. They shared stories of Catherine, of books she had recommended, of the haven she had created. The shop was full of warmth and memories and love. As people finally left and Alex was alone in the shop, he felt the weight of his new responsibility. The shop was fully his now. Catherine was gone. He was the keeper, the guardian, the sole protector of this sacred space. But he didn't feel overwhelmed. Catherine had prepared him well. He knew what to do. He would continue her work, honor her legacy, keep the shop alive and true to its purpose. He locked the door and walked through the quiet shop. His shop now. Every book, every shelf, every corner, all his responsibility, all his privilege to care for. He thought about Catherine's final words. Take care of the shop. Keep it alive. Let it continue helping people. I will, he whispered to the empty shop, to Catherine's spirit, to the books surrounding him. I promise, I will. Years passed. Alex grew from a young man into middle age. His hair went fully gray. His movement slowed slightly. But his love for the shop never diminished. His dedication never wavered. The bookshop continued its work, calling to lost souls, offering sanctuary, matching readers with the books they needed. Alex became known throughout the region as a legendary bookseller, someone who could find the perfect book for anyone, someone who understood that bookselling was about more than commerce. Sophie stayed for several years, learning deeply,
then left to start her own bookshop in a larger town. Alex was proud of her, happy that the knowledge was spreading, that more sanctuaries were being created. Other apprentices came and went. Some stayed briefly, some for years. Each learned something, contributed something, carried the philosophy forward into their own lives. Alex continued Catherine's tradition of keeping a journal. He wrote about the shop, about customers, about books and life and meaning. He wrote knowing that one day he would pass this journal to his own successor, whoever that might be. The shop aged gracefully. The building weathered more storms, accumulated more character. The shelves held different books than they had in Catherine's time or her uncle's time, but they still held wisdom and stories and possibility. The town continued its slow decline. More houses stood empty, more businesses closed, but the bookshop endured, a constant in a changing world. One autumn day, many years after Catherine's death, a young person walked into the shop. They looked lost and uncertain, searching for something they couldn't name. Alex looked up from his book and smiled. He recognized that look. He had worn it himself once, decades ago, on a rainy day. "Can I help you?" he asked kindly. And so the cycle continued, the bookshop at the end of the world, calling to those who needed it, offering sanctuary to weary souls, keeping its eternal purpose alive through the dedication of keepers who understood what really mattered. The story continues. It always continues. As long as there are books, readers, and people who believe in sanctuary, the story will go on. Sleep well, dear listener. May you find your own sanctuary. May you discover what calls to you. May you have the courage to answer. The bookshop waits, patient and eternal, at the edge of the world where land meets sea, where stories live forever, where lost souls find their way home. Rest now, dream peacefully. All is well. The end that is always beginning again. Sweet dreams.
In the years following Catherine's death, Alex transformed the bookshop in subtle but meaningful ways while honoring its essential character. The shop remained a sanctuary, but it also became more actively engaged with the community. Alex started monthly book clubs, each focused on different genres or themes. There was a poetry group that met on first Mondays, a fiction club on third Wednesdays, a philosophy discussion group on Saturday mornings. These gatherings brought people together, created connections, fostered conversation beyond books. The book clubs attracted diverse participants: elderly people who had lived in the town for decades, young families new to the area, solitary souls seeking community. Everyone was welcome. Alex facilitated discussions gently, making sure all voices were heard, keeping conversations respectful and deep. One regular member was an elderly man named William, a retired fisherman who had never been much of a reader until joining the fiction club. "I thought books were for educated people, not for someone like me," he told Alex. "But you showed me that books are for everyone. They've opened up new worlds for me in my old age." Alex also started hosting author events more regularly. Local writers would read from their work, discuss their process, answer questions. These events were modest but meaningful, bringing culture to a town that had little of it. The shop became a gathering place, a center of intellectual and creative life in the small community. People would come not just to buy books, but to see each other, to talk, to be part of something larger than their individual lives. Alex was careful to balance this increased activity with preserving the shop's quiet character. The events happened in the evenings or weekends. During regular hours, the shop remained peaceful, a place for contemplation and browsing. He also maintained Catherine's tradition of matching people with books intuitively. He had developed his own version of this skill, honed over years of practice. He could often sense what someone needed: comfort, inspiration, escape, challenge, and find exactly the right book. A young mother came in one afternoon looking exhausted and overwhelmed. Alex talked with her briefly, learned she had twins under 2 years old, was barely sleeping, felt like she was losing herself in the demands of motherhood. He gave her a book of essays about motherhood that was honest about the difficulties, but also beautiful and affirming. He also gave her a slim volume of poetry that could be read in small increments. "These are for you," he said, "not about parenting techniques, but about reclaiming your sense of self. You're still you, even while being a mother." The woman returned 2 weeks later to thank him. "Those books saved me," she said. "They reminded me that what I'm feeling is normal. They helped me feel less alone. How did you know what I needed?" "I just listened, and I thought about what might help, that's all." But it was more than that. Alex had developed deep empathy, an ability to see people clearly, to sense their inner state. This came from years of paying attention, of caring genuinely about helping others. The shop's reputation grew. People would drive from neighboring towns specifically to visit, to meet Alex, to experience what they had heard described, a bookshop that felt magical, where the owner seemed to know exactly what you needed to read. Alex took this reputation seriously, but didn't let it go to his head. He remained humble, always learning, always improving. He read voraciously, expanding his knowledge constantly so he could make better recommendations. He studied psychology and philosophy, learning more about human nature and what people sought in stories.
Over the years, several young people came to work at the bookshop. Some stayed for a season, others for years. Each brought their own energy and perspective, and each learned something valuable from their time there. After Sophie, there was Marcus, a quiet young man studying to be a therapist. He worked at the shop for 2 years, learning about books and people before going on to his graduate program. Years later, he would tell Alex that his time at the bookshop had taught him more about understanding people than any psychology class. Then came Lily, an aspiring writer who needed a quiet place to work on her novel. She would help in the shop in the mornings, write in the afternoons. The shop's atmosphere, surrounded by thousands of stories, seemed to nourish her creativity. She finished her novel, and it was published successfully. Next was James, a young man who had dropped out of college, feeling lost and purposeless. He came to the shop uncertain about everything. Over 18 months of working there, he found direction. He went back to school, this time studying library science, determined to work with books for his career. Each apprentice was different, needed different things, learned different lessons, but all of them were transformed by their time at the bookshop. They learned about mindful work, about serving others, about finding meaning in simple things. Alex tried to be for each of them what Catherine had been for him, a mentor, a guide, someone who saw potential and nurtured it. He shared not just practical skills, but philosophy, wisdom, ways of being in the world. He taught them that bookselling was about relationships, with books, with customers, with the community. He taught them to slow down, to pay attention, to work with care and intention.
He taught them that success wasn't measured in money, but in impact, in how many lives you touched, in whether you made the world slightly better. Some apprentices stayed in touch after leaving, sending letters or visiting occasionally. They would tell Alex how their time at the shop had influenced them, how they carried its lessons into their own lives and work. Lily dedicated her published novel to Alex and the Bookshop at the End of the World, where I learned that stories matter and that quiet dedication can change lives. Marcus wrote, "You taught me to really see people, to listen deeply, to understand that everyone has a story. This has made me a better therapist and a better human." These letters and visits filled Alex with quiet pride. The shop's influence was spreading, rippling out into the world through people who had been touched by it. This was success, not financial, but deeply meaningful. One particular apprentice stood out. Her name was Elena, and she came to the shop when she was 24. She had been working in tech, making good money, but felt empty. Like Alex himself years ago, she had walked away from that life, seeking something more meaningful. Elena reminded Alex strongly of himself. She had the same hunger for purpose, the same love of books, the same capacity for deep attention and care. She worked at the shop for a year, then 2, then 3. Unlike previous apprentices who eventually moved on, Elena showed no signs of leaving. "I love it here," she told Alex. "This work feeds my soul. I can't imagine doing anything else." Alex began to wonder if Elena might be the one, his eventual successor, the next keeper of the bookshop. He didn't mention this thought yet. Like Catherine had done with him, he wanted to let the calling emerge naturally. But he watched Elena carefully, noting how she interacted with customers, how she cared for the books, how she understood the shop's deeper purpose. She had a natural gift for it. Customers trusted her, opened up to her, accepted her recommendations. She treated every book with respect, every customer with genuine warmth. She stayed late organizing, came in early to open, took pride in every aspect of the work. One evening, after closing, Alex and Elena sat in the reading area with tea. Elena looked around the shop with obvious love.
"Do you ever think about the future?" Elena asked. "About what will happen to this place?" "Often," Alex admitted. "I'm 48 now. Not old, but not young. I think about who will take over when I can no longer run the shop. I think about making sure it continues, that its purpose is preserved." Elena was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "I'd like to be that person, if you'd consider it. I can't imagine a future that doesn't include this shop. It's become my home, my purpose." Alex smiled, moved by her words. "I was hoping you'd feel that way. You remind me of myself when I first came here. You have the same love for the work, the same understanding of what it means. I think you'd be an excellent keeper." "Really?" Elena looked simultaneously excited and nervous. "You'd trust me with this?" "I would," Alex said. "But let's not rush. Continue as you are. Learn everything you can. In a few years, we can formalize things, make you a partner. Then, when the time is right, the shop will be yours." Elena's eyes shone with tears. "Thank you. I won't let you down. I'll protect this place, honor what you and Catherine built." "I know you will," Alex said. "The shop chose you, just as it chose me. It knows what it needs." From that conversation forward, Alex consciously trained Elena as his successor. He taught her everything: the business side, the relationships, the history, the philosophy. He introduced her to publishers, to other booksellers, to community members. He prepared her to take over eventually. But that was still years away. For now, they worked together, a team united in purpose. The shop thrived under their combined care.
One winter brought the worst storm the coast had seen in 50 years. For 3 days, hurricane-force winds battered the town. Heavy rain fell constantly. Waves crashed far up the cliffs, higher than anyone could remember. The bookshop was directly exposed to the storm's fury. Alex and Elena worked frantically to protect it, boarding up windows, moving books away from exterior walls, securing anything that might blow away. On the second night of the storm, a particularly strong gust tore part of the roof off. Rain began pouring in. Alex and Elena scrambled to cover books with tarps, to move inventory to dry areas. They worked through the night, exhausted but determined. The damage was extensive. The roof needed major repairs. Some books were ruined despite their efforts. Water had damaged sections of wall and floor. It would take significant money to fix everything properly. Alex surveyed the damage with sinking heart. The shop didn't have much savings. This level of repair would be costly, perhaps more than they could afford. For the first time, he worried that the shop might not survive. But the community rallied. When word got out about the damage, people came to help. Volunteers arrived to assist with cleanup. Contractors offered to do repair work at cost. A local carpenter donated his time to fix the roof properly. Regular customers organized a fundraiser. They held a benefit dinner, created a crowdfunding page, collected donations. Within 2 weeks, they had raised enough to cover the repairs and then some. Alex was overwhelmed by the outpouring of support. He had known the shop mattered to people, but seeing this concrete demonstration of its value moved him deeply. "This place matters," one longtime customer told him at the fundraiser. "It's not just a bookshop, it's the heart of our community. We're not going to let it die." The repairs took several months. During that time, Alex and Elena operated from a smaller section of the shop. Business was reduced, but customers remained loyal, making a point to stop by and support them. When the repairs were finally complete, the shop looked better than it had in years. The roof was new and solid. The walls were freshly painted. The floors were restored. It was still the same beloved shop, just refreshed and renewed. They held a reopening celebration. The whole town came. People browsed books, ate refreshments, celebrated this beloved institution's survival. There was music and laughter and a profound sense of community. Alex stood watching the celebration and felt grateful. The storm had been difficult, but it had revealed something important. The shop wasn't just his responsibility, it belonged to the community. They valued it enough to fight for its survival. This knowledge gave him comfort and hope. Elena stood beside him, observing the crowded shop. "This place really is special," she said. "People love it. We're doing something that matters." "Yes," Alex agreed, "we are, and we'll continue to do it, no matter what challenges come." The storm and its aftermath strengthened the shop's bonds with the community. It was no longer just a business, but a shared treasure, collectively valued and protected. 5 years after Elena's arrival, Alex was 53. He was healthy and active, but beginning to feel his age. The daily work of running the shop sometimes tired him more than it used to. Elena was now 29 and had become an integral part of the shop. She knew it as well as Alex did, had developed her own relationships with customers and publishers, had proven herself completely capable of running things. The time felt right to formalize the transition. Alex consulted with a lawyer and drew up papers making Elena a co-owner, with the provision that she would inherit full ownership when Alex retired or died. They signed the papers on a spring morning in the shop, surrounded by books. It felt momentous and right. The shop would continue. Its purpose would be preserved. Alex had fulfilled his promise to Catherine. "You're trusting me with something precious," Elena said, tears in her eyes. "I won't take it lightly. I'll protect this place with everything I have." "I know you will," Alex said. "That's why I chose you. Or rather, why the shop chose you through me. This is how it works. Each keeper trains the next, ensuring continuity, preserving the purpose." They had a small celebration dinner that evening, just the two of them and a few close friends. It was simple but meaningful, marking this important transition. Alex felt a mixture of emotions: satisfaction at having secured the shop's future, sadness that his primary role was ending, relief at sharing the burden, pride in Elena, and confidence in her abilities. Over the following months, they worked together in a new dynamic. Elena took on more decision-making authority. Alex stepped back somewhat, becoming more of an advisor and elder presence than active manager. He found he enjoyed this new role. He could spend more time with customers, could read more, could think more deeply about books and life without the constant pressure of running the business. He was transitioning into something like Catherine's role in her later years, still present, still valuable, but no longer carrying primary responsibility. Elena proved herself an excellent leader. She brought fresh energy and ideas while maintaining the shop's essential character. She started some new programs, a writing workshop for aspiring authors, a book drive for the local school, partnerships with nursing homes to deliver books to homebound elders. Under her leadership, the shop continued to thrive. It remained profitable, busy, beloved. The community embraced Elena, accepting her as the shop's new primary keeper. Alex watched with paternal pride. He had done what Catherine had done for him, identified someone worthy, trained them thoroughly, passed the torch successfully. The lineage continued. One evening, sitting together after closing, Elena asked Alex about his own future. "What will you do now?" she asked, "now that you're not running the shop day to day?" Alex had thought about this. "I'll stay involved as long as I'm able, but I also want to write. I've been keeping journals for years, recording the shop's history, my observations. I'd like to turn that into something, maybe a book about the shop, about what we do here and why it matters." "That's a wonderful idea," Elena said. "This place's story should be told, and you're the perfect person to tell it." So Alex began a new project. He spent mornings in the shop, helping Elena, interacting with customers. Afternoons, he would write, compiling years of journal entries, shaping them into narrative, crafting the story of the bookshop at the end of the world. The writing was satisfying work. It allowed him to reflect on his journey, to understand what he had learned, to articulate the philosophy that had guided his years as keeper. He wrote about Catherine, about the apprentices who had passed through, about customers and books, and the meaning found in simple work. He wrote, "A bookshop is more than a business. It's a sanctuary, a community center, a place where stories live and breathe. The keeper's role is sacred, to protect this space, to match readers with the books they need, to maintain an atmosphere of contemplation and possibility. Money matters, yes, the shop must survive financially, but profit is not the point. Service is the point. Connection is the point. Keeping alive the ancient human tradition of stories shared and wisdom preserved." Writing this book became Alex's new purpose. He worked on it for over a year, refining and revising, trying to capture the essence of what he had learned from 30 years with the shop. When it was finally complete, he found a small independent publisher who loved the manuscript. They published it beautifully, a simple, elegant book with a cover photograph of the shop overlooking the ocean. The Bookshop at the End of the World: Reflections on Books, Life, and Finding Purpose was published on a spring day. The shop held a reading and signing. Many people came, customers old and new, former apprentices who traveled to attend, friends and community members. Alex read passages from the book, sharing stories about the shop and the people it had served. His voice was warm and genuine, full of love for this place and this work. After the reading, people lined up to have their books signed. They thanked Alex for the shop, for his service, for creating something meaningful in their community. Some had tears in their eyes. One elderly woman who had been a customer since Catherine's time said, "This shop has been a constant in my life for 50 years. It was here when my husband died. It was here when my children grew up and moved away. It's been a friend, a comfort, a source of joy. Thank you for keeping it alive." Alex felt the weight and honor of what he had been part of. The shop was bigger than any individual keeper. It transcended personal lives, continuing through generations, serving community after community of readers. Alex continued his involvement with the shop for several more years, gradually reducing his time as Elena took fuller control. By the time he was 60, he was visiting only a few days a week, more as beloved elder than active worker. He had more time for his own interests now. He read voraciously. He took long walks along the cliffs. He wrote occasional essays and articles. He maintained friendships, but remained comfortable with solitude. His book had a modest but meaningful success. It sold steadily, especially among independent booksellers and book lovers who understood what he was describing. Some people would make pilgrimages to the shop specifically because they had read the book and wanted to experience this special place. Elena sometimes joked that Alex had made their little shop famous. But the fame was gentle, not overwhelming. People came with respect and genuine interest, not as gawkers, but as fellow lovers of books and bookshops. On his 65th birthday, the shop threw a celebration. It wasn't retirement. Alex wasn't ready to fully retire, but it was a milestone worth marking. Community members gave speeches about what the shop meant to them, about Alex's contribution to the town. One speaker was William, the elderly fisherman who had joined the book club years ago. Now in his 90s, he spoke with trembling voice but clear conviction. Before this shop, before Alex and Catherine before him, I thought my life was simple and complete. I fished, I came home, I ate and slept. But books opened up worlds I never knew existed. They gave me companionship in my old age. They showed me it's never too late to learn, to grow, to discover. This shop didn't just sell me books, it enriched my life in ways I can't fully express. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for being here. Alex was moved to tears. This was why the work mattered, not for profit or recognition, but for impact like this, changing lives, enriching people, creating community around shared love of stories. After the celebration, Alex and Elena sat together in the quiet shop. Everyone else had left. The space was peaceful, full of books and memories and purpose.
"I'm getting old," Alex said. It was a simple statement of fact, not a complaint. "You're not that old," Elena protested. "You're healthy, active. You could keep doing this for many more years." "Maybe," Alex said, "but I also want to enjoy my remaining years without too much responsibility. I want to read for pleasure, not always thinking about the shop. I want to travel a bit. I want freedom to just be." "I understand," Elena said. "You've earned that. You've given so much to this place." They talked about the future. Alex would continue visiting, would always be available for advice, but day-to-day operations were entirely Elena's now. The shop was hers to run as she saw fit. "Will you stay in the area?" Elena asked. "Or do you want to move somewhere else?" "I'll stay," Alex said. "This is home. I can't imagine living anywhere else. But I might travel sometimes, see other places. I never did much traveling, you know. I came here 32 years ago and basically never left." "Where would you go?" Elena asked. "Bookshops," Alex said with a smile. "I'd visit other independent bookshops around the country, maybe around the world. See how others do it, meet other booksellers, learn about their shops, share his own experiences." He found a community of people doing similar work, maintaining similar values. Each trip enriched him, but each time he was happy to return home, to the shop he loved, to the small town and the ocean and the life he had built. This was where he belonged. Elena continued developing the shop. She hired her own apprentices, training them as Alex had trained her. The cycle continued. The lineage of knowledge and care passed from generation to generation. One of Elena's apprentices was a young person named River, who had grown up in the town. River had spent their childhood browsing the shop, had been influenced by Alex's book clubs and events. Now, in their early 20s, they wanted to learn the work of keeping a bookshop. Watching Elena train River, Alex felt the circle completing. He had been trained by Catherine. He had trained Elena. Now Elena was training River. The shop would continue long after he was gone, serving community after community, calling to lost souls who needed sanctuary. This knowledge brought him peace. His life had meaning. His work had impact. He had kept his promise to Catherine. The bookshop at the end of the world would endure. Alex lived to be 83. His final years were peaceful and content. He spent his days reading, walking, visiting the shop occasionally.
He remained healthy and independent until the very end. One spring morning, he simply didn't wake up. Elena found him in his bed, peaceful, a slight smile on his face. A book lay open on his chest, poetry appropriately. He had died as he had lived, surrounded by stories, at peace with himself and the world. The funeral was well attended. The whole town came, plus former apprentices from over the years, customers from decades of operation, fellow booksellers from across the region. They gathered to honor a man who had dedicated his life to books and service. Elena spoke at the service, her voice strong despite tears. Alex taught me that work can be sacred, that service to others is the highest calling, that a life lived simply and with purpose is a life well lived. He showed me that you don't need wealth or fame to make a difference. You just need dedication, care, and love for what you do. She continued, "The bookshop will continue. That's what Alex wanted, what he worked for. It will keep being what it's always been, sanctuary, community center, place where stories live. Alex's spirit will always be there, in every book on the shelves, in every quiet corner, in the philosophy that guides our work." They buried Alex in the town cemetery near Catherine and her uncle, overlooking the ocean they all had loved. A simple headstone marked his grave. Alex Morrison, 1975 to 2058, keeper of stories, giver of sanctuary. The bookshop continued as Alex had ensured it would. Elena ran it for decades, eventually training River as her successor. River, in turn, trained someone else. Generation after generation, the shop was passed to worthy keepers who understood its purpose. The building aged but endured. It was repaired and maintained, refreshed but never fundamentally changed. It remained what it had always been, a place apart from the modern world, where books were treasured, where people could slow down and think and find what they needed. The town itself eventually faded, as Catherine had predicted. Houses stood empty. Most businesses closed. The population dwindled to just a few hardy souls who couldn't imagine living anywhere else. But the bookshop remained. It became known far and wide as a destination, a pilgrimage site for book lovers. People would travel specifically to visit it, to experience this legendary place, to spend time in its peaceful atmosphere. The shop adjusted to changing times, but maintained its core identity. It sold books online when that became necessary. It adapted to new technologies while preserving old values. It evolved while remaining true to its purpose. Through wars and peace, economic booms and busts, cultural shifts and social changes, the bookshop endured. It stood at the edge of the world, where land met sea, calling to those who needed it, offering sanctuary to weary souls, matching readers with the stories they needed. The journals kept by successive keepers, Catherine's uncle, Catherine, Alex, Elena, River, and those who came after, filled shelves in a back room. They were the shop's true history, recording not just events, but the philosophy, the wisdom, the accumulated understanding of what it meant to keep such a place alive. Sometimes, late at night, when the shop was closed and quiet, you could almost hear whispers, Catherine's voice, Alex's voice,
all the keepers who had served, all the customers who had been helped, all the stories contained in thousands and thousands of books. The shop was haunted in the best way, by love, by memory, by purpose that transcended individual lives. And still the bookshop called, to the lost, to the searching, to anyone who needed refuge from a harsh world. Its door remained open, its shelves remained full, its purpose remained clear and true.
The bookshop at the end of the world, eternal sanctuary, keeper of stories, home for wanderers, light in darkness. Always there, always welcoming, always what it had been meant to be. Sleep now, dear listener. Let the story of the bookshop comfort you. Know that somewhere sanctuaries still exist, places of peace, of purpose, of stories. Perhaps you'll find one. Perhaps you'll create one. Perhaps you already live in one without fully realizing it. Rest well. Dream of books and ocean waves, of quiet shops and kind keepers, of stories that change lives and lives dedicated to serving stories. All is well. All has always been well. All shall always be well. The bookshop waits, patient and eternal, ready to welcome the next lost soul who needs it. Now and forever. The end that never ends. Sweet dreams.